And it's not important what profession you end up in. It's important who you end up as and what you tell your soul when you grow older. Did I have a good life, and was it with events? Was it straight? Was it boring? Or was it exciting with failure? Life has to be exciting with failure. Life without failure is unexciting. So my story is all about failure. It's all about failure. So let me start. And, are security? Darwaza band kar lo. No. You will take my permission if you have to go out. And I will time you as to how long it takes to come back. Okay. Cameraman, laga do camera. Achhe shots chahiye mujhe. So we start with my story, and it's a story that starts from the day I was born. In fact, it predates the day I was born, till the day I signed my first film. And after that, if you want to know more about films and my film journey, we can talk about it in a Q&A. Right, Vasi? Yeah. I was born in the year 1959. Don't calculate. In December. And my father passed away in 1959. In the May of 1959. 6 months before I was born. So I was born posthumously. No, please don't make sad faces. Why are you making sad faces? Oh, bicharo. No, it's not a sad story. It's not so sad. It gets worse. Wait, let me get on. So, I'm feeling very awkward, People are sitting in the wings. Normally the audience is here, but people are sitting over here. So you can get the... I'm sucking it in so much, I'm getting a backache. Okay. See, it's very important to pepper it with a little humor, because you talk about death and whatnot, everybody, no, it's not that. Right. So my father died, and I was born into a family full of women. I was surrounded by women all the time. Mother, she survived. She was almost dying, and I was dying too. 3 sisters before me, of course, couldn't be younger, naturally. 5 cousins, 4 aunts from one side and 5 from the other. Good God. I was surrounded by women who were, for the first few years, were just crying. And I grew up with a lot of complexes. I did not know what a man was like, because hardly anyone came to the home. And I didn't have any uncles. I did not know what a man was like till I was much older. And I never heard a male baritone voice till I was a little bigger. And it scared the hell out of me. And I was always mollycoddled, and I was always protected. And that made me extremely shy and nervous as a child. Growing up is never easy. Growing up, for a lot of people, is the hardest thing to do. Growing pains, as we know. And my pains were very, very complicated. So much so that I was born with a speech defect. A couple of speech defects, actually. And if I do that for you right now, you'll say, hey, this sounds really funny. Like, I have to talk with my tongue sticking out. Much like Virus. Much like Virus spoke. And every time I spoke, someone would laugh. It's funny. There's so many classes in our school. And everybody would say, yeah, this guy, speak, show your tongue and speak. Yeah. And I'd say, I'm like damaged goods. And I never spoke. I never spoke because I thought that something's wrong with me. So much so that when I went to St. Mary's School for an education, and it's very important for educationists to know about this. There was a lady I met earlier, right? So when I went to St. Mary's School, Father Molinet was the principal, and he knew about the condition of the family. My mother was a shopkeeper. She ran a little mom and pop store, as they call it, and that was her life, and she had to kind of start providing for the family. And when we went to school, Father Molinet told my mother, Mrs. Irani, don't you worry. We know what's happened in your family, and we will take your son in. I just want to ask him a couple of questions. She said, sure. So he wanted to show me a couple of photographs of animals, and if I identified the animals, that was like an entrance test. There you go. Simple. Guess what? He showed me the photograph of a horse. Now I said, there's an S in this. If I say horse, he'll say I'm an idiot. So what do? I didn't answer only. मैं जवाब ही नहीं दूंगा. I won't answer. Mummy is pinching my bum like that. Boman, bull, you know that. Bull. I said, okay, okay, okay. Showed me another photograph, a picture of a mouth. I was not going to say it. मैं क्यों बोलूं? He'll think I'm a fool. So I didn't answer. But guess what happened? I did not get admission in St. Mary's School. I got rejected because of that. Would you believe it? I go home and my mother is crying in the car. Why didn't you answer? You know Parsi. Anybody knows Parsis over here? Everybody knows who a Parsi is, right? I get very upset if you don't know who a Parsi is. Delhi people don't know who Parsis are. You know? Okay. Vasvi, tell me, name 5 Parsis. Khalas. She became like Donald Trump suddenly. They're terrific people. I just love the Parsis. I love the food. Yeah. Name 5 Parsis. Come on. Ratan. Oh, thank you, Vasvi. You got it. Ratan Tata. Anyone else? Who? Driver. One sec, girls, calm down. Yes, you were saying? Watchmaker. He's famous? Yeah, darling, how sweet, yeah. Anybody else? Cyrus Mistry. Well, we won't go there. Rusi Modi, Colonel Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw, Soli Sorabji, the Godreges, Freddie Mercury was a Parsi, just by the way. And of course, Prince Charles of England. What are you laughing for? You don't think Prince Charles is a Parsi, ma'am? Look at his nose, it's like mine. He's a Parsi. Very naughty class this is. So anyway, I go home and then, my mother was very morose and then the principal calls up one fine day, 10 days later. And guess what he says? And I think that's a mark of a great educationist. And he said, Mrs. Irani, we are educationists and I think we've done something very wrong. Which child doesn't know what a horse is? Which child doesn't know what a mouse is? He knows. He doesn't want to answer right now. Someday he will. And that's my job. And he gave me admission in St. Mary's School. So great, we got some energy in the room. So I went to St. Mary's School and guess what? The problems persisted. And the problem persisted because we found out that I had dyslexia. I had dyscalculia, which I still have. I go on the wrong floor every time and I open the wrong hotel room every single time. Sometimes on purpose. and all kinds of stupid things. Attention deficiency syndrome. And I really had trouble with my grades. And I'm really grateful to Amir Khan for teaching us what dyslexia is in that wonderful movie Tare Zameen Par. I think we want a round of applause for Amir Khan. Nobody knew what dyslexia was. Do you know what the technical term for dyslexia was in the 60s when I was born? I'm a 50s baby, just by the way. Does anybody know what the technical term for dyslexia was? Can I tell you? Duffer. I was called Duffer. By who? The neighbor's mom. The neighbor's mom are the worst kind of people. They make you feel stupid so that their stupid son looks less stupid. And don't you forget, mummies, that in some way or the other, we are also neighbors' moms. Very important. And sometimes, I don't know, we put too much pressure on our kids to get 98.4%. 98.4% is not normal. That's our body temperature. That's normal. But kids getting 90s and crying and think that they have disappointed their parents, that's not normal. Children should feel satisfied in what they do, not satisfied in making their parents happy so that they can tout to the whole world like the neighbor's mom that my son got 90, but still didn't get into medical college, but that's another story. So there are all kinds of intelligences. There are all kinds of, there is academic intelligence, there's creative intelligence, there's sporting intelligence. And it's very important to inculcate that in our children, but that's the only preach I'm going to make today. Anyway. So I got past till the fourth or fifth standard. I never opened my mouth. I never spoke in class. I used to get remarks in my calendar for not talking. Why? Because I had a speech defect, plus I didn't know the answers. Finally, Mummy sent me to a speech therapist, and they put marbles in my mouth and, did exercises. I swallowed a few marbles, but here I am. You give me a mic now, I won't shut up for 4 hours. I passed out of St. Mary's School. In, we forget what year. I passed out of St. Mary's School with a high third class. with a high third class. And guess what? He passed. He passed in maths in his whole life. He's never passed in maths. My son passed. Wow. Mom was so proud. But I didn't know what to do with myself after that, because in the 70s, what could you take up as a profession? Today we can do anything. We can become makeup artists and make lots more money. Maybe not as much as ARG, but lots more money than we can ever do. And there's so many. Shamak Dava has become a dancer. He has these institutes all over the world being a dancer. Can you imagine? Son of an educationist becomes a dancer, and he makes good. But then there was only lawyer, doctor, engineer, and a hot new stream of studies called CA. What's CA? They write articles. I thought journalists write articles, So there we were. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't want to study. I'm a little anti-establishment. So I took an assessment of myself, and that's something that I do every 5 years. And see what I'm doing right. Judge myself and pick on something. So guess what I did? I said, okay, this is good. And I decided to become a waiter. I decided to become a waiter. I said, I'll do very well as a waiter. I'll be a fantastic waiter. I'll have style. Baritone mein baat karunga. Hello. I thought I started practicing as a waiter. And I went to my granny. Now, it's very important to know where we come from. Not where I come from, but where we come from. And sometimes we forget that. When we reach a certain strata of society, we kind of forget where not only we come from, but maybe where our grandparents came from. And my grandparents came from Iran. They came from Iran as Zoroastrians. There was persecution, much like the refugee crisis we have today. Believe it or not, I'm a child of immigrant parents. In this country, I don't feel any different from any one of you. Neither did my grandma. And guess how they came? They came and they rode across the desert on a donkey. All right? They rode across the desert in a donkey, much like biblical times. But these are not biblical times. I have met my grandparents. We're talking about now. And they sailed from Khurramshah. They stayed the night in a tent, and from Khurramshah, they came to Mumbai in a sailboat, in a dhow. And my father was dying in the boat as a 1-year-old. And my grandmother tells us, I didn't know what to do with the child. What if the child died? What am I supposed to do? Wait till we reach Bombay? Or am I supposed to put him in the sea? These are the kind of grandparents, and this is the kind of lineage that I come from. So I feel extremely awkward when people tell me, how was the flight? I think of my grandmother. How is your suite? I think of my grandmother. Never forget where you came from. And I'm here to do a job. And I consciously never let the perks of my job overtake the job itself. So I went to grandmother, granny saying, you want to be a waiter? I said, yes. Very good. Very good. But be the best damn waiter there ever was. I mean, that's simple as that. That stuck in my head. I said, I'm going to be the best. And it's stuck in my head all the time. So I go And I go to the best. Thankfully, we're not in a hotel. I do it in other hotels. This speech in another hotel, and I say, go to the best hotel, Taj Mahal. And everybody, all the waiters look the other way. Kya baat kar rahe yaar, ye Taj Mahal. I go to the Taj Mahal Palace in Mumbai. And there was a Parsi general manager called Sam Bhada. Okay? Parsis are quite khadus, principal khadus. I mean, we had a field marshal. What the hell? He used to, talk to Indira Gandhi, with authority. Mrs. Indira Gandhi. He was a tough guy. So Sam Bhada is like the Sam Manekshaw of hotels. Yeah, I'm not joking. What do you want? I said, I've come for a job, sir. थोड़ा baritone में बात किया. Come for a job, sir. Which department? Style में बोलने का. It sounded good, no? So I said, food and beverage. See, my take on life is, you reach for the stars, but you land on the treetops. So I went to Taj Mahal Hotel and I said, food and beverage. So he said, idiot, the whole hotel business is about food and beverage. Which department? I said, again, reach for the stars. The Rendezvous. The French restaurant at the top of the Taj Mahal. Oh, very good. I like your ambition. Very nice. You want to start at the top? I said, yes, sir. Idiot. Start at the bottom. Not even the bottom. Start in the basement. Go to room service. And he shoved me to room service. And that stuck in my head,